Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and today we're gonna look at something pretty cool, at least something that I think is very cool, and I wanted to share with all of you guys out there. If you're a Star Wars fan and you've got a collection room or an office that you like to kind of decorate with your geek love, then these might be something that interests you. Today we're going to be taking a look at this awesome framed Star Wars action figure art from my friend Darren over at his Etsy store, Star Wars Toys Art. That's right, this is basically a framed pair of vintage Star Wars action figures. Seems like a very simple concept, yet look at the results. It's actually a very cool and very different way to display some of your favorite toys. Now, maybe this isn't for somebody that already has a full collection of figures lined up perfectly on the shelf. But maybe if you were just a fan of Star Wars, you don't have a huge collection, you don't have a lot of space to display your toys, or you want something that looks a little nicer to kind of hang up in your office. I think this right here totally fits that niche. This is very cool. So the one that I'm looking at here today is a set of framed vintage Star Wars action figures containing some of the famous bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back, IG-88, and Zuckuss, which is actually Forlom, but if you're a fan of the vintage Star Wars line, you'll remember that Kenner swapped the names on those two. So technically, this is our framed IG-88 and Zuckuss figures. Now these are really, really nicely done. These are carefully mounted in a really nice 9x9 wooden shadow box there. And you can see that there's a really great kind of framing done on the inside there that really highlights the figures and kind of gives it a nice 3D effect. You can see the back does have a nice little metal hang tab, so you can hang this up on your wall. And overall, it creates just a really wonderful and very nice, clean display. Just a fun way to display your toys. Now, question on your mind, especially if you're an action figure purist, you're a collector of these vintage figures, you're worried about damage being done to them. Well, this is what's awesome. Darren uses a wire technique to actually mount the figures in place. So there's no glue, no adhesives, nothing that's used to actually destroy the action figures. They are wire mounted nice and tightly behind the figures, and you can't even tell. And look at that. They're not loose on the inside. They're perfectly balanced. They're stabilized. They're not going to fall out. But if you really wanted to, you decided you want to pull those figures out of this frame, you can do it. All you got to do is unhook the wiring in there. You can pull the figures out, so that way action figure collectors, if they decided to, you can pull those out and you can display them on your shelf loose. So overall, I think it's a really fun design, very cool. Like I said, makes for a really wonderful display piece. Like, this is something nice that you can totally just hang up anywhere in your house. It'll get people talking about it. It definitely stands out. Just a really fun thing. And I always love seeing creative ways to display action figures. And I think Darren did something pretty cool with his awesome Star Wars action figure art. So, if you want to know where you can get some of these for yourself, well, Darren has an Etsy store. Just do a search on Etsy.com for Star Wars Toys Art, or you can go to Etsy.com/shop/Star Wars Toys Art. I'll also put a link in this video description. This particular one here retails for $65. There are several different sets available: vintage figures, single figures, double figures, figures from The Force Awakens, even the upcoming Rogue One. So there's modern stuff, vintage stuff, great selection for all, and this is where things get great. For all of my viewers, Darren is actually offering a special coupon code for 30% off of your purchase. That's right. So if you go to the store, you decide you want to buy one, use the coupon code PixelDan30 and you'll get yourself 30% off. So pretty sweet stuff. Definitely check it out if it looks like something that interests you. I think this is a really fun idea and something that I will definitely be hanging up in my office here. Take care, my friends, and until next time.